Hi boys and girls, it's Mr. W here. I miss seeing you all at school and I miss seeing you in music class. I wanted to read a story to you today, and you may have heard this story before. It's called Because. And it's a story about music. And it has a little music in it too that I will play for you later on in the story. Alright, here we go. And I'll show you the pictures too as I read it. Because a man named Ludwig wrote beautiful music, a man named Franz was inspired to create his own. There's Ludwig, there's Franz. Ludwig who? Does anyone know who that is? Has anybody heard of Beethoven? Ludwig van Beethoven, that's who that is. And Franz, over there, Franz Schubert. Because many years later, people wanted to hear Franz's beautiful music, they formed an orchestra. Because a man had practiced since he was a kid, he was asked to join. Because a woman studied night and day, she too was asked to play. And because many others loved and practiced their instruments, there were enough musicians. Because someone created a poster about Franz's music, tickets were sold. And because the train conductor stopped the train at the Grand Concert Hall, the orchestra conductor arrived. Because the orchestra librarian had copies of the score, the orchestra rehearsed. Because workers checked the lights and the seats and swept the floors, the grand hall was ready. Because the line had come, because the time had come, the ushers opened the doors. What do you think's about to happen? There's gonna be a concert. Because someone's uncle caught a cold, someone's aunt had an extra ticket for someone special. There's the aunt and the uncle. Because the usher helped the aunt and her special guest, they found their seats. And because everyone was there to hear beautiful music, it was quiet. And look at the special guest. Who is that special guest? Well, there's an aunt and an uncle, so the special guest must be the niece. That's the niece of the aunt and the uncle. The uncle was sick, so they brought the niece instead. And here's the orchestra at the beginning of the concert before they played. It was all quiet in the concert hall. And then... Can you hear that? That's what she heard on the day of the concert. In row C, seat number 14, she heard the beautiful music written by the man named Franz. And it changed her. And there's the niece. She heard this beautiful music. The music that you're hearing right now. The girl was changed. She probably has the song stuck in her head, right? That's why it's floating behind her. From that moment on, the girl learned everything she could about music because it fed her. Soon, she started to write music too, because, like Franz, the young woman had something to share. Over time, the woman became very good because she worked very hard. One night, her music was discovered because she too was lucky. So now she's older, and now she's conducting the orchestra. Then she was invited to perform her music at the Grand Concert Hall because so many people wanted to hear it. Her composition was dedicated to the uncle in row C, seat number 14, because it was his ticket that brought her here. So remember, because the uncle had a cold, he couldn't go to the concert, she got to go. And because she got to go, she got to hear the beautiful music and wanted to be a musician. And that night, someone else was changed. So because she heard that beautiful music, she wanted to keep playing music. She loved music after that. And one thing led to another, and eventually she was the conductor of the orchestra. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story of Because. And everyone has their own story of Because. I can tell you I'm a music teacher because my grandpa got sick and couldn't play his trumpet. And because my school started a school band, I started to play the trumpet. I started to play this when I was in 4th grade. And because I played the trumpet, I loved music. And I kept playing. I learned how to play the piano. And because I kept wanting to learn how to play music, I eventually wanted to teach it because I had really good music teachers. Well, I hope you're all having a great time, staying safe, being careful, and I will see you all again soon.